Welcome to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Let's Talk Cars Radio is sponsored in part by Napa Car Care Centers, BDG Auto Group, by Bob and Cindy Scottman Transmissions, and Advanced Technology Institute. Be a part of the program today by calling 757-222-3705. That's 757-222-3705. You may text your comments and questions during the show to 757-866-2192. Email your questions and comments to Dave at letstalkcarsradio.com. Now, here is the host of Let's Talk Cars Radio, Dave Polk.
Happy Saturday, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I am your host, hanging out with Rock and Larry Cobb and Cameron, of course. What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Long weekend.
Hey.
It's a really long weekend.
It feels like the weekend's been dragging a little bit, which is great because it's sunny outside where we are. Hopefully where you guys are at, it is nice and sunny. It is a great day for a car show, and lucky for you, in our area, there is a car show going on over at Lansdowne Common. So I want to get this out real quick because it's 1 o'clock and it ends at 3 o'clock. So it ran today from 9 till 3. You still have time. It is a family fun event. Get out there. There's a lot of cars out there. The 757 events, auto events, is actually hosting out there. Coastal Auto Show of Virginia is out there. LansdowneCommons.com. You guys can look it up. They have a lot of different car shows that are out there. So it's actually for cancer awareness, and it's for a local family here, local for Danielle. They are actually supporting her. Camera posted and actually clicked and tagged into it yesterday. So I wanted to get out to everybody who does not know. Get out there. A lot of cars, a lot of different events. They're doing a 50-50 raffle out there. There's a lot of different booths out there. Our friends are out there actually from Rent-A-Lift, so they got a booth set up there. There's a lot of people out there, a lot of cars, food. If you guys haven't ever been out to one, Lansdowne Common does a lot of different car shows out there. Same different people out there. You have the Chevy lovers are out there. They do a lot of big car shows out there. A lot of fun people out there. So like I said, if you've never been out to one, get your butt out there. You have no excuse. Some guy from named Alan from 106.1, I think he said he's going to be out there hanging out there too, hanging out. They got the Starchy and Hutch cars out there. If you guys are a big, huge fan of theme cars like I am, go out there and check it out. There's no reason not to be out there. It is a great, great Saturday. Like I said, the sun is shining. You have no excuse. And hey, you're supporting a really good cause, so you guys don't know how I feel about that. You're going to talk about it, you've heard me say, or be about it. So get out there, spend a little money, have some fun. Like I said, see all the great cars, stop into all the different vendors that are out there having a good time. You know, like I said, you guys know how I feel. Cars, good people, good events. That's the place to be. Ain't that right?
That's true. It works.
Yeah, it definitely works. So get out there and have some fun. I plan on trying to stop out there after the show. So if you guys see me, stop me, say hi. I'm always out there. I'm always friendly. I always try to get to all the different events that we can. And like I said, a lot of our different sponsors usually are out there too. So stop in and say hi to everybody. Like I said, get out there. Lansdowne Common. If you guys don't know where it is, you guys should know where it's out there in Virginia Beach. It's easy to find. Big, huge shopping center full of tons of stores. Go out there, look around. There's something for everybody out there, and you're supporting a good cause. So please, please get out there and have some fun. See the hot rods. Enjoy yourself. Like I said, it is family oriented, so there's no reason not to be out there. Turn off the TV. Drag your kids away from the laptop, their phones, their tablets, the video games, and let them get out in the air. Soak it in. See, ready? It's like this. It's called fresh air, and let them have a good time. Turn all the computer stuff off and enjoy yourself. So.
Well, not till 2 o'clock.
Yeah, wait, all the way till 3 o'clock. All the way 3 o'clock. And then after 3 o'clock, catch a good meal out there. There's tons of different restaurants out there, so there's no reason not to be
Make
out
sure
there.
you get your picture taken in one of those Ford Gran Torinos.
Hey. Somebody sent me something this week, and I have to laugh. It was funny. Have you ever heard the 99 Problems song? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody sent me, what was it? I got a Ford, 99 problems, but The Chevy ain't one. It was all done to the tune of that song, and it was over and over again. Somebody sent that to me.
99 brake pads with a 4.
It's like I know you own a Ford, but I got 99 problems. My Chevy ain't one. It was over and over again to that tune. So one of our listeners sent me that, so I appreciate it. It was actually pretty funny. I thought it was entertaining.
Indeed.
They know that I'm a Chevy man. I don't have my Chevy pin on today because I'm actually wearing one of our T-shirts.
Yeah, there you
with
are.
our logo on it. So yeah.
Well, you have to replace that with a logo necklace.
A logo necklace.
Yeah, it's a Chevy.
That would be sweet.
Yeah, the little Chevy bow tie logo.
I usually
is
have
it?
my anchor on. So yeah, there we
Well,
go.
you can have 2 charms. You're not limited to just one.
So here's the thing. So, I haven't been ignoring you guys. I got a couple, hey, you've been ignoring me. Hey, you've been ignoring me. I have not been ignoring anybody. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about this week. Just so you all know, I have not been ignoring you. I got quite a few emails and texts within the last couple weeks. I want to say actually over a month. And the question is, have I noticed that our roads seem to be deteriorating since the winter? And my answer is going to be yes. Yes, I have noticed. And no, I'm not ignoring you. Okay, so since the winter, and I won't say we really had a rough winter this year. I don't really believe it was rough.
We've had milder ones.
Yes, but the emails were ever since the winter. Usually people go out, and I mean people, the cities, they go out and they repair the roads and the potholes and everything have been gotten. That's really good English, David. They have been repaired pretty quickly right after the winter months. This year, everybody's complaints are that they have not. And I kind of agree with them. There's a lot of potholes that are still out there that nobody has touched. I haven't seen the road crews out like I did. Usually right after we got out of March, because usually that's when the snow would stop for us. You see the crews out there making all the repairs, and they're out there working on the roads and stuff. And everybody's saying that didn't happen this year, which I agree with them. It really did not like we've seen in the past. So the question that's been posed to me, did we get forgotten about? What is the change? Why aren't we seeing the road projects like we normally do, where they're out there making all the repairs, and then we go through it again to the winter and it starts all over again? So I did want anybody to think that I was ignoring them. I wanted to do a little research, and I wanted to ask a couple questions. And I have drove on the roads just like you guys. I'm all over the place sometimes when it permits for me to get out and about. I'm on the roads, and I feel what you guys are feeling. There is a lot of potholes out there, and I'm not talking on the freeways. I'm talking on a lot of the surface roads all throughout the Hampton Roads area. And yes, there is big craters that feel like they are swallowing up our vehicles. And I drive a truck. I love my Chevy truck. I drive a truck because I enjoy it, and it serves a lot of different purposes. But even my truck feels like it is getting swallowed up by some of these holes in the road. You would agree? Mm-hmm. Cameron, you'd agree?
Yes.
Okay. So here is the classic answer that I was given when I did some investigation. There is a lot of projects that are going on in the Hampton Road area. If you look at some of the road areas where they have gotten really, really bad, there happens to be some type of project going on right close to that area. So the reason why they haven't gone and done a lot of road repair is because very close by there is a project going on which will carry a new road project through that area. Does this make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Makes sense.
So instead of spending a bunch of money making a bunch of repairs in those certain areas, they know that the new project will carry a completed road right through the troubled areas. So that's the reason why they haven't gone and spent a lot of money making the repairs. That's the answer I was given.
So they're actually looking out for taxpayer money.
Essentially, if you the air quoted answer, sure. But here's the problem. What if it's 2 years before that road ever gets laid down through the troubled area?
Well, that's true, but I get where the mindset is as far as if we're going to have to, why fix something and come back along and tear it up?
Okay, and I'm with you on that, and I understand the answer I was giving. I completely understand not spending the taxpayers' money needlessly. Okay, so I do get that.
And if it's a 2-year job, that means, boy, that's a big job.
Right. Well, there is. Okay, so I'll give you the perfect example. If you look at Witch Duck Road in Virginia Beach intersection, that's horrible. I don't care what you drive. I drive a truck, and my truck gets bounced around like I'm on a slot car with dirt on the track. You know what I mean? it just, you get bounced around in my truck, and it is uncontrollably bounced around right there. And it needs help. because I know it's going to be a while before that intersection ever gets back to what it needs to be. So that's one area. If you go further down and let's say you're traveling through the military highway area in Norfolk, I understand that's a huge, huge area that's been going on forever. I feel your all's pain because that was one of the areas I got a bunch of emails on, was that area alone, and how, I mean, that's a 45-minute commute from Virginia Beach Boulevard, sometimes just down to Hampton Boulevard.
Yeah.
Right there, it'll take you 45 minutes to get through that area right now because of all the road construction going on there, and some of that's tore up so bad. They're like, look, can we fix some of the little areas that it's destroying my car? They're getting to it. I understand that it's been going on forever, and people are like, well, you know, my car is getting destroyed. I make this commute every single day, and as I drive through some of these areas, my car is literally just falling apart. I feel your pain. Then you get over to some of the Hampton projects. I've listened to some of your guys' letters as well in Hampton. I understand. I see where they're doing the road construction over there. So it's not just one city. I'm getting letters from people from all over the Hampton Roads area, the 7 cities, where people are very concerned. Why haven't we gone back and fixed some of these roads? So that's why I reached out to find the answer. And that was the answer I was given for a lot of it. So I posed a question to you guys. Would we rather save the money? Do we believe the answer and save the money? Because as the answer I was given, somewhere in that general area, they're doing construction. They plan on bringing new roads through your troubled areas, as they've been told. Or do we fix the problem and patch it for right this second until they get to that area? Is that, I guess the question is do we like the answer we were given, or do we not like the answer we were given? I mean, is that a justifiable answer for us? So that's kind of what I'm putting out there to you guys.
Sounds like a political answer.
It felt very political when it was given to me. I understood it. I trust me. I get it. I do get the answer I was given. Do I believe the answer I was given? No, not wholeheartedly. Do I believe that answer? It felt like a political answer, but
12 years, it doesn't matter anyway.
Because we're flying, baby. Is that where you're going with that? I knew it. We're flying.
To heck with those roads. They won't be needed.
They won't be needed because we're flying. I knew where he was going with that.
So I was reading a thread on Facebook, one of the Facebook groups I'm part of, and somebody was like, what to do if the car does get destroyed while traveling down these roads. They said that if we put in a request...
I read the same thread that you did.
And that it is not done within 30 days, we can actually make the city pay for our damages.
I don't know how true that is, but somebody actually... It's funny you say that. Somebody forwarded me that little thread.
Really?
Yeah, I actually got that sent to me. Funny how...
I don't think it's true.
If you're in here's the thing. It's amazing to me that if you're in car groups and you're in all the different forums and stuff, and Cameron follows it because... working for us, that's his job, he follows all those different groups, that somebody actually took that same thing that he read, clipped it, and then sent it over to me in an email. And I read the same thing. I don't believe that's fully accurate and true. I guess we need to research it and find out if it is.
How would you prove it, though?
That's the problem. How would you prove that the damage done to your car is your car sitting in a repair shop in pieces and go, well, that pothole on such and such street is what did that damage? That's hard to prove.
Dash cam.
Well, okay, maybe so, but I think burden of proof. It's not an easy thing to prove.
Well, they've been for several years. I think you can apply to the city for reimbursement for damage. But a news report I saw, pretty much at the end of the news report, it's like the city decides whether they're going to honor it or not, and most of the time they don't.
Well, I can remember back in the day when if a rock fell off the back of a truck and busted your window, they were paying for it. That's not the case like it was back then.
If that was that the city, or was that like private haulers?
Well, that was private haulers, and even now you can't get them to pay like you used
they
to.
put disclaimer signs on the back. Not responsible.
Well, here's the thing.
Negligence
is negligence.
How can you disclaim responsibility?
Well, perfect example. So I'm going down the road the other day, and there's one of the large dump trucks, and it has a branch. You can see where it's been loaded with dirt. They're obviously clearing something somewhere, and there is a branch that is now sticking almost 6 foot off the side of the truck. If you ever watched a dump truck get loaded, most of the time he's loaded by an excavator or whatever, and they dump it in the back bed, and they give him a little tap or they sound a horn or whatever to let him know he's loaded. He drops his cover and he drives away, and that's the extent of that for the most part. And that looks like that's what was done. There's a branch sticking about 6 foot off the side of his truck. And I'm on a 2-lane road, so I knew at some point when 2 trucks came side by side, that 6-foot branch was going to smack the opposing truck coming the other direction. So I stayed like 10, 20 feet off the back of him in traffic because I was just waiting for the next truck to come. Thankfully, he turned off before that ever happened, but I know at some point in his travel, that was going to happen.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So just goes to show you just never know. You know what? It's time for a commercial break already. You guys think about it. I'm just curious what you say. I'm going to check my texts and check my email, see what you guys have to say, and we'll talk to you soon. Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Pillach, hanging out with Rock and Larry Cobb, and of course, Cameron's doing all of our technical work for us. So, before we went to commercial break, I like to open up cans of worms, and, you know, we were talking about roads and them not being repaired, and
You just never put You never put the worms back.
Haha, his mic was turned off.
Hey, don't forget, I told you guys at the top of the show, if you're looking for something to do until 3 o'clock today, make sure you go over to Lansdowne Common, 9 to 3. They're having the car show, the 757 auto events, Coastal Auto Show of Virginia, Chevy Lovers. They're all over there having a car show. Cars for Cancer, supporting a local girl, Danielle, here in the local area. They're having the 50-50 raffle, trying to raise money. Definitely go over there. It's a family fun event. No reason not to be there. The sun is shining, so get your butts over there and enjoy the event. I'm telling you, if you go to one of these, you've never been to one, or if you have been to one, you will definitely go over and over and over again. It's a great event, so get over there and check it out. So while we're at commercial break, I checked some emails, checked some texts. So people, I'd say the majority are weighing to the fact of they think it's a political answer. I don't know. I'm just saying, I can understand not spending money if you're going to come through very quickly with a new road. But if it's going to be something that you're not going to get to until a little while, you need to at least patch some potholes. So I'm going to tell you, so coming down Witch Duck Road, right before you hit Virginia Beach Boulevard, there was a huge pothole, 2 side by side. And there was about a 6-inch shred of asphalt left that if I lined my truck up on it perfectly, I could hit my tire on that 6-inch and then not hit either one of the potholes. But you had to line it up perfectly to catch that 6-inch strip. And I made it a game. It was almost like playing like Frogger. If you guys remember Frogger. It tells you how old I am when I say Frogger.
It's funny you say that, because when I was running to the storage locker the other day,
you hit that same 6-inch
I tried. They patched it.
Yeah, it's got it's patched now. The
It's
2
patched.
potholes are
Yep.
patched now. So you don't have to, but you can still see the little 6-inch stripper.
Yeah,
Was
you
that?
can definitely get
Just spread a little asphalt in the hole and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know somebody must have complained about it because, I mean, they were deep. I mean, like you literally had to catch the little 6-inch strip.
Maybe you need to be talking to your city council person.
Yeah, because that's always done real well. Moving on. So, Volvo and FedEx have moved forward with platooning. Your favorite subject, platooning.
Platooning?
Platooning.
You mean where they're all daisy chained together? Is that what that is?
Well, they're not daisy chained.
Well,
I remember
Follow the leader?
I remember the first time I said platooning on this show, and everybody looked at me like it was a dirty word.
well, I
Platooning.
didn't know what it was, to be honest with you. I didn't know what that
He was like,
meant.
platooning. All right, so if you don't know what platooning is, I'll explain it one more time. Platooning is where there's one lead vehicle with one real driver, and the rest of the trucks follow without drivers. They are automated vehicles, autonomous vehicles, anonymous vehicles, self-driving vehicles, vehicles that drive themselves, vehicles without drive. Did I cover them all?
I think.
Just in case you're out there listening, I did that for you. So
I think they know.
you know who you are.
You complainers, you.
You complainers. So, platooning, back to it. You'll have a semi truck with a trailer that has a real driver. The rest of the semi trucks behind them have no driver. They're driverless, and they are programmed to follow the lead truck with a real driver. Well, if you remember earlier this year, later part of last year, we were talking about Oregon had went ahead and gave them the permission to platoon. You can't.
I just got this mental image in my mind. Wouldn't it be fun to watch one of these platoon trucks drive off a cliff?
I just knew you were over there giggling to yourself, and I just knew.
I'm
that you just had-
visualizing
I knew it. I knew you were visualizing something that just wasn't good.
Lost driver.
So now it appears. Oh, I don't even know where to go now. I mean, just see what happens around here.
Lemming drivers.
North Carolina. I'm just going to keep on moving on without you guys. North Carolina apparently has given the thumbs up since April, and we are testing on real highways, real roads in North Carolina now.
Real cliffs.
Oh, Cameron, I tell you, you guys have no idea how hard it is sometimes with these two in the room to keep on moving forward.
What are they testing? The self-driving cars?
No, the platooning trucks.
Aha.
See, look, they're so off the rails. Wow. Platooning trucks, people. Platooning trucks. I'm telling you.
And are they doing that like on the interstate?
Yeah, no, they're on real roads now. So they are actually going to FedEx, and them are together with Volvo, and they are actually platooning.
And is there a limit to how many
They're
followers?
limited to 3 trucks right this second.
Okay.
So they're actually limited to 3.
Does that include the driver?
That's including the driving truck. They're limited to 3. But
Okay.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, this is cool because the fact 3 years ago when we started talking about this, it was just an idea. It was a concept 3 years ago. When we first talked about this 3 years ago, it was just a concept.
And people said it wouldn't happen.
No, exactly what they said. People said there's no way this is ever going to happen. And now we're doing it.
Has the testing started?
It's done. They started in April. They're already on the roads in North Carolina doing this.
Wouldn't you like to see that? I would.
I think, here's the thing. So do you think they blacked out the windows on the following trucks? You think they had to black the windows out? Because if you're driving down the road with your family, singing along some songs, playing some road Yahtzee or license plate game or whatever it is your family plays, and you pull alongside this truck and all of a sudden you look up and there's no driver, there has to be a moment of, oh my God. And I use "oh my God" because I know that's not what you guys are going to yell.
You put a fake German Shepherd up there with his
I would
paws
have
on the
so
wheel.
much
my
fun.
God.
I would have so much. See, you couldn't leave me in charge of that project. I would find some of the craziest things to put behind the wheel. You could not leave me in charge of that project.
A little mannequin with no head.
Okay, you say mannequin, but that's far from what I would put behind the wheel. I would put some of the craziest things behind the wheel, and I would turn the head looking down at people. You know what I mean? Just
Put a mannequin of Lurch up there.
they're just some sunglasses with a cigar in their mouth, just looking down. You know what I mean? I would have some of the crazy Chewbacca, just have a Chewbacca doll behind the wheel looking down at them. I mean, I'd be fired within like the first couple of days of running that project. I guarantee it. Because every time that truck went out, it would have something else behind the wheel. I would be fired. I would probably make it maybe a week, or if not a couple of days, in charge of that project.
And if 2 were following the main one, then you could have them interact as they drive, waving out.
I'm telling you, you could not leave me in charge of that project at all. That would be an instant, I got fired, and here's the reason why. Could you imagine going home to tell your wife why you got fired? Could you imagine having to go home and tell your wife why you got
Honey,
fired?
why'd you get fired?
Well,
I had Chewbacca with me.
Well, I had Chewbacca with me. It seemed like a really good idea. I decided to go ahead and take a stormtrooper. Oh, and that's just the lighthearted things you could do.
There's plenty of
The
room
imagination, I'll let it run wild. I'm just
room
saying.
for meanness.
Oh, there is. Oh. We're going to move on. Oh, here's another one for you. So, police pull a driver over for all kinds of reasons. We believe this, right? Mm-hmm. For having Chewbacca behind the wheel. All right. So, when a police pull people over for failure to maintain lane, usually it's because they're probably drunk, right? Mm-hmm. Or they're messing around with something in the vehicle. You would agree upon this. Mm-hmm. Usually a cell phone, playing with the stereo, maybe turn around having to mess with kids that aren't doing what they need to be doing in their seats. All those different reasons, right? Mm-hmm. Here's one that probably is not the reason why you think somebody get pulled over. So a police officer pulls a lady over because she's failure to maintain lane. When he gets her pulled over, what do you think the reason is that she can't maintain the lane?
I have no idea.
Eating a burger.
No, we've covered that 1,000 times of people eating the weirdest things behind the wheel. This one's kind of gross.
Uh-oh.
She had so much trash in her car that it started to cascade on top of her that she could not keep the car straight because the trash that had piled up in her vehicle had started to fall on top of her while she was driving down the road.
She's like trying to push it away out of the way.
Yeah, but it just kept on falling on top of her. Got up underneath the gas pedal and this brake and was falling on top of her. Started to get lodged up underneath the wheel while she was trying to drive the car down the road. That's how much trash she had in her car.
You ever seen a car with that much trash?
Yes, I have. We've talked about this. We've had people bring cars in for repair with that much trash.
Well, I know you talked about the rodents and the insects that you found, but
Oh, no, I've had that much trash. Well, that's the reason why there was rodents and insects in the car, because I had that much trash. I've actually had to turn people away and tell them I couldn't work on their car because they had that much trash in their car. I refused to work on it.
I don't know how people allow that to happen.
I told you the banana story, didn't I?
You did. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, the banana story.
Yep.
If y'all don't remember, I had the lady who brought her car in with so much trash, and I went out to go test drive her vehicle, And as I sat and I realized it had a bunch of trash in it, but I wasn't trying to be harsh or be mean or anything like that. So I just decided to take her car for the test drive because she was having some car trouble. I sat down in her car, I put my hand on the gear shifter, and I went to go shift the car, and my fingers went through a rotten banana that was sitting right by the gear shifter. It grossed me out so bad that I had to step out of the car because it was pretty grody.
Caused a craving for a banana split.
Nope. It caused no cravings for anything other than
A towelette.
a towelette and trying to keep my meal that I had for lunch down. But yeah, so if you've never had anything weird like that happen, I'll let you guys think about that one while I take a quick commercial break, and we'll talk to you soon. Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Pilach, and I'm hanging out with the guys. We're just talking about cars like we do every single Saturday at 1 o'clock. So, I had some interesting news, and I thought about an interesting way to ask about it. So, you all know I've talked about my buddy Dan, and he is a Dodge guy through and through. And I always joke about getting Dodge on his hands because I can't convert him to drive Chevys, even though he should, because probably my calculations are that Chevys have probably towed home his Dodges more than anything ever. So I want to call him because I want to see what his take is on some of the news. So give me a second because I got to hand Larry my phone so he can see the number where to call him at. So hold on. All right, here it is. So hold on. I gotta put my headphones on so I can hear him. So we're going to try to call him because he's going to love this news. So give us a second here. So give you the backstory. So I've known Dan forever, and he is a die-hard Dodge guy, and he won't drive anything else. So there's some news that came through this week that I'm not sure he's even aware of. So I want to call and give him a hard time, and I think you guys will enjoy it. So give Larry a second. He's going to dial him up for us because I think it will be interesting to see his take on it. And hopefully he's not driving and he crashes one of his precious Dodges. It's ringing. Let's see if he answers.
Hey Dan, this is Larry at Let's Talk Cars Radio. Can I put you on the air with Dave Pilach?
Oh, he's got him. Hold on.
Can I do that? Have your permission? All right, stand by.
All right, here he is. Hey, Dan, what are you doing, buddy?
Just got home from Pick and Pull, buddy.
Hey, that's a good place to be on a Saturday. Hey, so
Not when it's this hot.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
So there is news this week that your precious Dodge Chryslers may now be owned by Hyundai.
Really?
Yeah, so technically you now may be driving Hyundai.
No way.
Yes way. So that means now instead of you having Dodge on your hands, you may very well end up having Hyundai on your hands. I want to know how you feel about that.
Thrilled.
So now not only do I get to joke you about driving a Dodge, if this actually happens, now there's no confirm that this is ever going to go through, but it did get released this week from a media packet that I got on press release that they are talking about possibly trying to buy him, and if they do, that means you're actually a Hyundai driver.
Well, everything I own is post or pre-Hyundai, so.
No. It doesn't work that way, buddy.
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't work. I get to call you a Hyundai driver.
That's not funny, dude.
I just thought I would.
I got to listen to Nissan Boy talk about how ugly the new Ram trucks are.
If you guys don't know who Nissan, see, we have names for all of our friends. Nissan Boy is our buddy Rob, who we call Mr. Nissan, who we give a hard time because he's nothing but Nissan. Everything's Nissan.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to be the first to break the news to you.
Yeah, too bad his wife is the current driver of a Honda Odyssey.
Ooh. Well, hey, there's nothing wrong with a Honda. We know they last forever, but it just gives us something else to tease them about.
But the transmissions are garbage.
Oh, Dan.
I like a straight
Did
shooter.
Did I just say that live on the air?
Yeah.
Yes,
That was definitely live, buddy. That was definitely live. Well, I just wanted to be the first one to break the news to you that now you're going to be my Hyundai friend if this goes through.
Well, I'll do my best to cling to the past.
Well, if this goes through, I just want to let you know that I'm going to go get a bunch of Hyundai stickers made up, and I'm going to plaster every one of your vehicles with a Hyundai sticker.
I know it's not too
in the
late.
middle of the night while you're sleeping, just so you know.
So now I have to worry about my vehicles being vandalized.
Shh, you didn't hear it from me. And nobody else was listening. Shh,
Wait a minute.
Everybody
Can I
close your
record
ears. Yeah, right.
Well, if it happens, Dan, you know who to blame.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna let you go back to installing your pick and pull parts, and I just wanted to give you the news myself because it makes me proud to know that this will never happen to Chevrolet.
well, Chevrolet still owes the government how many millions?
Hey. And this is where we disconnect. What? I can't hear you. You're breaking up, friend. I'm going to have to let you go. Love you, buddy. We seem to have lost Dan. I don't know what happened. We lost him. I'm not sure where he went. Something happened with the telephone call.
He can still hear.
He can still hear.
So, Dan now knows what happened. If it happens, I'm telling you, if this goes through, and so the release went out this week, and nobody's talking, but basically we know that there's been rumors going around for a while that people are looking to buy. So if they're looking to buy, it could happen, and we'll see what happens. But if it does happen, then I'm telling you, Dan will never, ever live this down, ever. And if that wasn't interesting news enough, so if you think that isn't the end of it all, let me go ahead and pick on my Ford friends. These are all my Manufacturer Challenge friends this week. So for my Ford friends, apparently Ford and Volkswagen want to team up now. So if it hasn't gotten weird, it's even weirder. So
somebody's going to get even with you one day.
Which one of our friends owns a Ford?
Oh, I have a bunch of them. So it looks like Ford and Volkswagen are talking about teaming up this week as well. If that isn't a weird combo, if Hyundai and Chrysler Fiat isn't a weird combination, if now you're going to have Ford and Volkswagen.
With the problems that Volkswagen is having, why in the world would Ford even want an accomplice like that?
Well, here's the thing. At some point, it's just going to be one car manufacturer. Is that what's going to come down to? Just going to be one car manufacturer?
Yeah, we'll take your liability.
What was that movie? What was the movie Demolition Man, where Taco Bell owned everything?
Yeah.
Welcome to Taco Bell. How can I help you?
It was the only place you could go.
Yeah. Taco Bell had everything. So is that what it's going to end up being? I don't know. So I don't know. Look, Dan's going to call me later. There will be retribution to be paid.
He may come by with Chrysler stickers on your truck.
Yeah, right. I got cameras, buddy. Don't try it. I'll see you coming. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Ford and Volkswagen, though. That's a weird combo, too.
Yes, it is.
I don't know. Here's one for you. How about you? Have you heard of Cedric?
Yes, I have.
You have you?
Yeah, I've heard of that name. I'm trying to place now, what does it belong to?
Cedric is Volkswagen's self-driving vehicle.
Cedric.
And that's how they came up with the name, was self-driving vehicle. They took self and driving car, I guess, and they made the word Cedric out of it.
I would have thought Cedric would have started with a C, but...
Well, no, self.
Yeah.
And driving, so they took SE from self, driving... DR.
Yeah, I see how they got it. When I think of, when you say Cedric, I think of CEDRIC.
Is that how they spell Cedric the Entertainer? Is that was he with the C?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's probably the reason why.
It won't with an S.
maybe that's the reason why. So anyway, that's something else Volkswagen has going on. Now, do you okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to put this out to you guys, because I answered this question, I want to say it was a couple months ago. The listeners, I'm going to say I mean the listeners, you guys posed a question to me of, how did I think we were going to overcome the stereotype of people getting used to self-driving vehicles? Because people, when they did that poll, and a lot of Americans and people around the world said that they just weren't truly thinking they were ready for them yet. Remember that whole conversation we had, and how we were going to get over that stereotype of self-driving vehicles? Well, Cameron and I were talking about it for a while. And I told him how I have figured this out. I have cracked the code. I'm a smart guy. I cracked the code. And this is how they've gotten over it. They're going to introduce these vehicles all over the place without you realizing it. It's going to be slipped right underneath your nose without you realizing it, and you're going to become used to them. And I'm going to tell you how they're going to do this. Just same way we've done with everything else. And I realize I'm a victim of it without even realizing it as well. And I pointed out to Cameron that I realized that I was a victim. So I was that guy who had the flip phone forever. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I told Cameron and he'll vouch for this, that when the smartphones came out, I adamantly said, I don't want one. I don't need one. I will never see a use for one. I told him that. Now, I bought them their first ones and still kept my regular old flip phone. I was just like, I don't see the use for one. I think this is stupid.
iPhone 4.
I was just like, that's how long it took before I went to anything of a smartphone.
I know people that are still that way. They still have a flip phone.
I was like, I don't understand it. I couldn't wrap my head around the purpose of having one. I was just like, all I need a phone for is just to call somebody when I need to talk to them. I didn't even text. I wouldn't even text anybody. I saw no purpose in texting anybody. And I held out and I held out. I was like, no, I just need the phone for calling somebody. I was just that guy. I was just like, look, I don't need it. It's dumb. I don't need it. So I understand the holdout for self-driving cars. Underneath that principle, I understand. But what happened? They slowly made them cheaper. They slowly slid them in to everyday use. And before you know it, pretty much everybody who had that thought process now has one, right? For the most part.
Yes.
Okay. Same thing with the big smart TVs and the big flat screen TVs. Everybody's like, they're cool. I just don't see the hubbub about them. I don't see rushing out and getting one. So they made them cheaper. Before you knew it, everybody has one in their house now, right? You understand that philosophy because they just became commonplace.
Right.
So the people who just didn't understand the concept and held out and kept their regular TVs for the longest time, they slowly integrated into everyday life. Then they changed over the fact of the back assembly of the TV where you had to change over and you had to have a certain antenna, okay?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So they just got integrated into our lives slowly but surely, correct?
USB jacks.
Right. So they became commonplace. You can understand how this is. So this is how they're going to do it with smart cars. So you have things like Cedric, okay? You have things like I have a bunch of them here that are listed, okay? So Kroger is starting the driverless delivery system, Nuro. Nuro and Kroger are hooking up. So now they're going to have groceries delivered driverlessly, okay? Where a driverless vehicle, self-driving vehicle without a driver, I can go through them all again if you guys want me to, but I think you got the point, will deliver groceries to your house without a driver, okay? So that's Nuro, okay? Then you have May Mobility that's being ran in Motor City, where they're going to start using these small buses, like 16-passenger buses, that will move you from parking garages to events or parking lots to events at stadiums and all that kind of stuff. They're going to start doing all that stuff. So they're going to interject this stuff into your life slowly. You're going to get so used to it just being there and being normal to you that when it comes time for the driverless cars to start hitting the lots, it's so commonplace, it won't seem uncommon to you.
I believe that. I don't disagree with that. Not at all. I don't think it'll be slow. I think it'll be rather fast, just like
it is fast. It's slow, but it's fast. With you now have the driverless pizza deliveries that are coming. That they're working on that. They have been for the last 2 years, where you have drivers. They just pull up to your house and they deliver your pizza right there to your house. It's a driverless vehicle. You just walk out your front door, you grab it out, you pay your bill right there, and the vehicle moves on and delivers the next pizza. That's real life, people. This isn't make believe. That's being worked on right this second. They have test pilot programs already doing this. So all that becomes commonplace. When you start seeing these vehicles everywhere on the road and it becomes commonplace, now it becomes normal. Seeing a driverless vehicle won't be weird when you go to your store to go buy a vehicle and you go, oh, well, I can have a vehicle. The app, you touch a button, the vehicle comes to you, picks you up and takes you where you want to go. We're about a year away from that right this second. I just read something on it this week. We're about a year from that, actually, that test, going from test to being in the cities. It's a year away.
Well, I already know what I'm going to do when I buy my first driverless vehicle.
What's that?
I'm going to buy me a mannequin and put it in the front seat where the driver sits.
Is it going to be Chewbacca?
No.
If you saw how happy Larry is right now. He could
not wait. He's been holding that with a grin on his face.
Larry has been
all the
jumping
way
up and down.
because he knew that I had already went over my commercial break. So he's been over there sitting there grinning, holding that, wanting to use that. I tell you what, I'm over my commercial break. I got to take a commercial break real quick. When we come back, I'm going to get through the rest of this news. We'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio with Dave Palach here on Freedom 1110 WKQA. Nobody remembers the name J.F. Whitlow & Sons Incorporated until you need them. But when you have a toilet problem, drains back up, pipes freeze, your heat or air conditioning stops working, then you remember J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Don't forget the phone number, 399-1714. That's 399-1714. Air conditioning and heating and all plumbing. J.F. Whitlow & Sons have been serving Hampton Roads since 1949. Residential and commercial. You can always count on J.F. Whitlow & Sons to get to you fast and get the job done right the first time. Located in Portsmouth and serving all of Hampton Roads. Those who know, call J.F. Whitlow & Sons. Call them at 399-1714. That's 399-1714. J.F. Whitlow & Sons, Incorporated.
Okay, your week is crazy. Your local Napa Auto Care Center understands. That's why we're open Saturdays for your convenience. Get that oil change you've been putting off way too long. Be done with those squeaky brakes that are on your last nerve. We get it. Our Napa Auto Care Center is open Saturday when you maybe don't have soccer, dance class, a late meeting at work, you name it. Call for a Saturday appointment now.
Hey guys, Dave Pillage from Let's Talk Cars Radio. Are you tired of trying all the wrong auto shops and never leaving feeling that satisfied experience? Napa Car Care Centers, the BDG HRVA group, has the answer for you. Friendly, reliable teams assembled for all your automotive needs. Find your local auto center today at NapaBDGHRVA.com. That's NapaBDGHRVA.com. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Pillage from Let's Talk Cars Radio. Are you tired of your everyday job? Looking for something more? You have to go check out ATI at auto.edu. Advanced Technology Institute has a program for you. From accelerated schedules to assistance in helping students get into the career field fast. Guys, I understand how hard it is with the hassle of juggling life, work, kids. That's why ATI provides day and night classes to make things as easy for you to succeed. If you're ready for a change, give them a call today at 757-490-1241. That's 757-490-1241. Make ATI your choice for building today's minds and tomorrow's communities. ATI is certified by SCHEV, the State Council of Higher Education for Virginia, to operate in Virginia. Talk to you soon. Hey guys, Dave Pillage from Let's Talk Cars Radio. You've heard me say it time and time again. Anyone can guess what's wrong with your transmission. The true test is getting it right the first time. At Bob and Cindy's Cottman Transmission in Janif, there is no guessing. They understand that your car is more than just a car. It's what gets you from work on time and home safely at the end of the day. Bob and Cindy understand you have to work hard to meet the needs of your customer. Their certified technicians will help keep you on the road for years to come. If you can drive it, they can fix it. Call Bob and Cindy today at Cottman Transmission Janif, 466-7778. That's 466-7778.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Cars Radio, your automotive specialist. Call into the program now at 757-222-3705. Now, here is Dave Pillage.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to Let's Talk Cars Radio on WKQA Freedom 1110. I'm your host, Dave Pillage. I'm hanging out with these nutty folks here. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. These guys, I'm telling you.
The Mannequin Queen.
The Mannequin Queen. Yeah. So, here's a little flashback for you. Flashback. So, if you guys haven't been following along and everybody's been still, some of you guys are coming around. I won't say all of y'all, but everybody's been trying to tell me I'm crazy about the whole gas price thing.
Yeah.
So, guess who announced a little changeover in the shift of powers this week about gas and electric vehicles?
The head of OPEC.
Nope. BP has announced, this is going to tell you guys I'm not crazy. For those of you all that still think I'm a little crazy about gas prices, that eventually they are going to go down, this is going to tell you that I'm not as crazy as you think I am. And I'm going to tell you why. BP this week announced that they are going to start installing electric charging stations at every one of their pumps.
Oh, I hadn't heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
Every one.
That is their plan.
That's going to be a big job.
If I'm crazy, why is a gas station installing charging stations at their gas pumps?
Because if they can't sell you gas, they're going to sell you some electricity.
Say it again. say it again. One more time. What was that? Say it again. Look, I'm not crazy. When gas stations are starting to look at other things to sell you, that's because I'm not crazy.
How do you think they're going to price that? You pull up to your charging station, and how much electricity do you get?
I don't think they figured out how to price it yet. I think they just realize it's coming.
That'll be 2.5 kilowatt hours.
I don't think they've even figured out exactly how they're going to put a price to it. I think they just realize the inevitable is coming.
Because that's going to make a big difference in electric cars.
40% in 12 years is what we said, correct? 40%. Yeah. If that number projection turns out to be true, if you're at 40% electric cars in 12 years, that's a huge change in demand for oil. You have to do something. But if you can't do it in 12 years, you got to start doing it now.
If it's not less than gas, are you going to have those going, I want my gas car back?
Well, no, because you're going to see the projection. You're going to see the projection change. And supply and demand is exactly what it is. Supply and demand. That's why it's called that. We learned this in school, people. It's affected very simply. You don't have to be a genius to figure out the way the numbers work. You just don't.
the less demand, the more it costs. No, the less demand.
You failed that class.
I know how it works. I just can't say it.
Right. He's like, I just didn't attend that class. That was the one I skipped regularly.
I was sick
it's
that
called
day.
Supply and demand. The more demand, the more those supply.
There you go. Right. Or no, the more the demand, the more the cost.
You failed that class too.
I did fail that class.
The less the supply, the more the cost. That's it. I got it.
There's a reason why we do radio. Oh, economic majors, we are not. Here's a cool device. Do you guys remember me? This got to be. It's another flashback. 2 years ago, we talked about this device, something very similar. I don't think it had a name then, just the idea exists. A device they were trying to figure out how to install in cars that kept you to the point where you could still drive, but you still had the capability, not that you should, of using your cell phone. And they were talking about putting it in the windshield, and it would read you off messages and all that kind of stuff. We talked about it, where if your cell phone rang, you could make a motion, and it would read you messages, or you could answer your phone. And there really wasn't a name for it. It was just the idea of it. Do you remember that conversation?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, apparently it has a name. It's called Chris.
Everything has a name. We got Cedric. We got Chris.
It's called Chris. So basically, this is a little device. It's kind of a startup company, but it hangs on your windshield, and basically you can just kind of wave at it. And basically, as you wave, it'll do certain things. It'll read you your text messages versus you having to look at your phone, and it can give you hands-on directions. It can change the radio station, all by either talking to it or doing hand signals to it.
Okay.
Not that they encourage you using your cell phone, because they still don't encourage you to use your cell phone. But for those that just can't seem to stay away from the cell phone, it just makes things a little bit easier.
They should make it where you just talk to it. What do you want to wave at it for?
Well, you do. Basically, I guess if you wave at it, it brushes through a couple different commands. You can just wave at it real quick, and it'll do a different command. I thought it was pretty cool. I saw the video. If you guys want to check it out, look up Chris. That's how I found it. When the media package was sent to me, but then when I wanted to go actually do a little bit more research, I looked up Chris.
Could imagine what I'll get if I go and Google Chris.
What's Chris's last name?
He was smiling. You guys can't see him. And for those of you guys that are watching on Facebook Live, you still can't see him because he's on the other side of the camera. But they make faces at me and then expect me to stay blank face or without losing it on camera or on the mic. And I think they just try to trip me up to see if they can mess me up.
Is that Chris with a C or Chris with a K?
It's Chris with a C, okay? Chris with a C. See you guys. Oh. Hey, Lexus is recalling 115,000 cars for fuel tank leaks. So if you own a Lexus, you might want to call into the dealership and see if one of your cars are affected, all right?
Yeah, if you have an electric car, you don't have that problem.
And last but not least, before we go, make sure you don't let people like them make you lose your temper, make you go crazy, and drive through a Walmart like a 19-year-old did when he got into a fight with his girlfriend and decided to drive through the cereal aisle, through the front door down to the cereal aisle, do some burnouts, and drive around and drive back out in front of Walmart.
Chris gave him the wrong directions.
Pick up a box of Cheerios and head on out.
you know what? We're just going to go ahead and get out of here. That's the end of our show. It is a great Saturday. Hope you are enjoying the sunny Saturday where you are. You can listen anywhere in the world if you're listening to us on your phone. If not, you can listen to us locally on WKQA Freedom 1110, which you're listening to right now. Catch our show every Saturday at 1 o'clock. Sunday's right around the corner. Turn off the TV. Spend some time with your kids. Enjoy the show. Enjoy your weekend. And we're out of here. We'll talk to you soon.